you and empower you with the knowledge and the vision so that you can make money doing something that you're passionate about. And I'm going to be talking about 3 different parts to that today and going really quickly through all of them. There's so much more that I can say about all 3 of these, but I'm just going to be moving quickly through them, and I hope that each one of them gives you a shift in perspective while you're here, but there's a lot further that you can go with them. So the first one is thinking about, if you have a purpose in this life, what your purpose is, and how that can be something that you are very passionate about, and how you can transform that into making extra money. Hi. So, and why I think it's really important not just to be passionate, but also to see this as a purpose is because if you have a greater calling, then you feel more committed to it. So you're not just thinking about making money as a get-rich scheme or jumping from one idea to the next or having lots of ideas and just spinning your wheels with them, but actually having one thing that you really feel is important to you and it's a way that you want to make an impact in the world. So when you have a purpose, it allows you to make a commitment and to stick with it even when things are challenging. The second thing I'm going to talk about is clarity. So I'm going to give you some questions to think about in order to get some clarity on if you did start to move forward with pursuing your passion, maybe as a business or as a career change, the kinds of things that you'd want to think about and ask yourself to get really clear. And I'm also going to talk about how to profit from your purpose. So just some basic marketing ideas. I'll share a business model that you can use. So if you wanted to start a side business maybe, just to make some extra income, or if you wanted to segue from whatever you're doing now into a full business, so just some basic ideas for how you could do that. And you don't have to, start a business. You could take these ideas and maybe just switch careers or do something small with it, but it's just a way to think about how you could do something you love and maybe make some money at it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to define your purpose. So you've probably heard the saying, do what you love and the money will follow. And I really believe that, but just to bring everything into alignment. So you're doing for money what you love to do, and that's your job, and making it as personal and authentic to you as possible. So really getting clear about what your purpose is and the thing that you're passionate about, and also making sure that there's people who want what you have to offer. And if you don't find that to be true at first, it may just need some tweaking. It's really important that whatever you're doing, there's actually people that want to pay you for it. And if you don't find that right away, it might mean that maybe you want to refine your skill set and get better at it, or actually look in different places for people that are going to want what you have to offer. If at first you're finding that nobody's really excited, maybe you just have to go somewhere else or target different people and just get really clear on who your ideal customer is going to be. And then having a formula for a profitable business. So if you know the marketing, then you're going to be able to make money doing what you love. So having these 3 things in place, your purpose, the right people who are going to be your customers, and knowing how to market it and have these structures in place. And that's how you can make money following your passion. So I'm going to share a little bit about how you can find your purpose using the intuitive arts. These are just some suggestions if you're having trouble figuring out what your purpose is. One of the things that I love talking about is using your intuition. And if it seems a little woo-woo, I'm going to try to make it practical if this is something new for you. There's 3 aspects to the intuitive arts that I teach, and that's being, receiving, and sending. So you can use simply being in the moment as a way to figure out what your purpose is. One way would be through meditation. So if you're somebody that is worried about things a lot and having racing thoughts and constantly spinning your wheels and always, just thinking and moving from one thing to the next, it can be really helpful just to clear your mind, just do some deep breathing, taking time to do that every day, and then you'll find that you're thinking clearly. And when you ask yourself, what do I want to do, the answer is going to be much more clear than it would be if you're just doing, and overthinking things. If meditation doesn't work for you, because it doesn't work for everybody, it's a discipline and it can be challenging, you might want to try just the practice of mindfulness, which is basically doing everything you normally do anyway, but just bringing conscious attention to it. So you're paying attention to how you feel in the moment, sensations, emotions, and you're noticing what you like, throughout your day. You're noticing what makes you feel good, what makes you uncomfortable, and that can point you in the direction of what your purpose and passion is. And also being in the flow. Flow is a state that you go into when you're doing something you really love and you just forget about time. Time just flies by and you're completely in the moment and you're not even thinking, you're just doing and being and just really having a lot of fun. So noticing when you have those experiences will point you in the right direction. In terms of receiving intuitive guidance, I think that keeping track of your dreams and keeping a dream journal can be really helpful. I read a book by Dr. Judith Orloff. If you guys know who she is, she's an intuitive psychiatrist. And she was sharing in one of her books a case where she worked with a client who was thinking about a career change. And this woman wasn't really sure what she wanted to do, so Dr. Orloff suggested that she pay attention to her dreams. If you have trouble remembering your dreams, just the act of keeping a notebook or paper by your bed and trying to remember daily can help you remember them better. And she found that she was dreaming about different word combinations and strange creatures, and she discovered over time that looking at the patterns and trying to interpret them, that she wanted to write children's books and use these words and creatures in her books. And when she started doing that, she realized she didn't even have to change careers. This was just something that she could do on the side, and she found it fulfilling enough to where it could just be an addition to what she was doing. And then in terms of sending intuitive energy, that would be like using creative visualization. So you can visualize the intention you have for yourself and use that as an experiment almost to see if you actually like what you're seeing. You can imagine yourself doing what you want to do or having what you want to have and seeing how it feels. And that can also be considered law of attraction, because what you're doing is you're cultivating a feeling, and the idea behind that is the more you feel that feeling and give energy to something, the more of that is going to come to you. If you're not comfortable thinking about the law of attraction, you can think of that in terms of prayer, because it's the same thing. It's about setting intention for something and then giving it space to actually come true. And you'll find that when you do this sort of thing, you tend to have more synchronicity experiences, and those are meaningful coincidences. That's when you have an idea for something, maybe like you decide that you want to start a business in a certain type of office space, and maybe you plan exactly how you want it to look and what your price range is, and then somebody shows up and says, I have exactly the place you're looking for. And it's strange and kind of hard to explain, but it's definitely meaningful for you. So I have an action step that you can try right now, just some ideas that are inspiring about being able to move forward from here if this is something that you want to do. So rather than focusing on the outcome, just thinking about focusing on permission to give yourself permission to pursue your desire. And just remembering that when you commit to making a decision, the resources do show up to support you. And if you stay true to your inner vision, regardless of how things look on the outside, you're closer to actually creating a way to make money following your passion. And I also wanted to leave you with some more of my own resources. I have free resources available at my website, which is coachingwithchristina.com, and it's on the sheet that I gave all of you. And I have a free ebook there, which is called Manifest Your Best Life, 5 Powerful Tools. And this book is not so much about business, it's more about having a positive mindset. I talk more about the intuitive arts and using those to just develop the mindset that you would need to stay focused and just bring about anything that you want to do, whether it's a business or any other goal you have.
Can I ask?
Oh, sure.
How long did it take you from this business idea up to...
Oh, that's a good question.
The first successes.
Wow.
Objectively.
I think I started to kind of daydream about the idea in 2010. And it was just sort of ideas. I was just kind of writing down ideas in a notebook about different ways I wanted to do my coaching business, different topics I wanted to cover. And then I think I actually started that was probably the year I actually started my website, and I started blogging about the topics that I was covering for coaching. And I did that for a full year before I started seeing clients. So I've been seeing clients for about 2 years now. So it just kind of builds. I think it's kind of like you might know what you have to do, but it takes time just to start implementing everything. You know, I mean, it seems really simple. It's like a matter of just doing it. It can probably go a lot quicker if you just do things and stay focused. But then, you know, it does take some time too to just find the time to do things and, you know, overcome a lot of fears as you're stepping into it and really putting yourself out there. So it can take some time too.
A quick question. When you started blogging, you said you blogged for about a year.
Yeah.
Did you have any kind of list then, or did it start out with maybe there was like one person?
Oh
reading
yeah,
it, and
started
then
with
10
one.
people reading? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I think the first one was my ex-boyfriend. Yeah.
Was he an ex at the time?
Actually, he might have been. Yeah, he might have been. He was very supportive. So yeah, starting from scratch with it.
So basically just sharing information, and then eventually people will start to notice, and
Yeah.
then maybe go back and read those original blogs that they did.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
ultimately they end up.
Oh yeah, they're still up there, and like
Okay.
it's funny because I can see it in myself, and I see it. You know, I follow a lot of other coaches and people that are doing similar things, and you know, everybody keeps their old stuff up, even though you don't necessarily want everyone to go look at that stuff, but it's there, and you do see the progression over time, how things get better.
Yeah.
Videos get better, articles get better, but yeah, I leave everything up there because why not? You know, it's still a contribution, but yeah, I look back on some older stuff and I'm like, oh my god.
Did you hear that?
You said you were a major in psychology, but that you decided to teach people how to look forward rather than focusing on the past. Isn't that a radical transition to make for a psychologist?
Oh, well, I'm not a psychologist. I never actually went for my doctorate, so I never actually became a psychologist. I guess it kind of is, but it's becoming so common nowadays. It doesn't feel radical to me. I mean, there's so many people, you know, doing coaching now, and you know, focusing more on goals and looking to the future and thinking about the present, and not necessarily analyzing the past. So, yeah, it seems to be a very common movement nowadays.
Guess I haven't kept up.